Hey, what's up, YouTube friends? So, here is the second rendition of the RyaNoob breakdown or something along those lines. So, here we have an Empire Strongholds, one of the most chaotic game types in the circuit. I'm just kidding. So, I'm kidding about the voice. It is a really chaotic game. So, before we get into it, let's talk about some strategy. So, or some basic strategy. So let me be able to zoom around the map really quick. So with an OS spawning every 2 minutes in this little pit, it's really important that you get it. Obviously, I mean, I don't really have to go into too much detail about that. It's really important that you get it. So every time it comes up, you best be like sprinting for it and figuring out ways that you can get it. Um, so in the last episode, I talked about advantageous and disadvantageous positions, and I guess I'm just gonna call them power positions and weak positions or something, because I feel like calling them like saying advantageous is just gonna get really annoying. So obviously, security, turbine, really powerful spots when you have control of the pit. When you don't have control of the pit, you kind of want to take them over and then slowly push into pit. I've been trying out some few theories that I've crafted up for how to take back control when someone has two bases and you have one of the outside bases. And I'm gonna be talking about it in this game because I do pretty well at basically showing it. So now that I got that, I want to talk about my gameplay in this. I don't like my gameplay as much to criticize on. While I'm playing, this is a matchmaking game, and all of my games so far have been matchmaking games. I'm not focusing on winning. I'm not focusing on showing, on basically doing whatever is normal. I'm focused on trying out new things, getting faster at whatever I do, and just overall trying to be a nuisance and practicing being a nuisance. So if I'm in a 1v1, I'm going to try to see how long I can survive just for funsies, so that I can figure out how to survive. Like, that way, if I'm in a position where I need to survive in like 2 months, whenever I'm in like the finals of a tournament, I'll be like, oh, I can do this. I can wait for my teammate to come help me. No problem. I've been doing this my entire career. So that's just what I do. Um, so yeah, don't mind the gameplay too much. It's just me running around the map doing all the normal things. So off the start, the storm rifle, very OP. It's actually like kills faster than any gun if you hit all your shots. So the OS guy has OS. The OS guy does not have OS anymore. So controlling turbine while my team is like kind of winning the losing the battle. Oh, we have an AFK, I think. I don't know. But controlling turbine, very important, like I said. Alright. There we go. I don't like having the outline there for... I like to see what I see and basically make judgments off of that. So even in mid-range, it's still really strong. End up getting that guy no shields. And so in this chaotic game, it's really important that when you have an advantage, you want to start securing a base whenever you're down 1-2, like we are. So instantly, we get a kill on, like, our kingdom gets a kill, and then I jump out into pit while shooting that guy, and instantly get in pit. What this does is it forces the last two guys. I don't know why I can't. Oh, it's not the same as it was in the past. Sorry, guys. So instead of like waiting for my shields to come back, I instantly get in pit, and this forces the other two guys, the last two guys remaining, to come fight me, and hopefully my team can win the battle and get pit. But I don't think that's what ends up happening. Just kidding. Our kitten wins the battle, but he doesn't get pit. I was right. So getting into the battle really quickly. See, this is one of the things that I've been practicing, is getting from your spawn into a position like this to get into pit. So, and then here I am just messing around with ground pound. You can ground pound from security room, I guess is what we call that, into pit real easily. And it's something that I've been practicing. And you'll see it later in this game. I think. So we're getting control of pit. They end up doing a really good job of keeping control of pit. And I really don't like my my decisions this game to just go for it the way I've been doing it. Didn't know that guy was one shot. So honestly, just finishing off kills right now. My team when my team takes control of pit, that he's in such a bad position that if I leave him out to dry, he's just gonna die and they're gonna reset it. So I've got to be desperate with him. This is something that you need to do in matchmaking. If you notice that your team's not going for pit, that's pretty bright. If you notice that your team's not going for pit, you shouldn't really go for pit either. Like unless it's time to go. But there's one down on each team. My teammate already had it like a quarter of the way, so I made the conscious decision to go help him out in pit, and we end up securing it. And I feel like that's such a huge play. So if I go into pit there and my teammate's not already in it, I die. If I don't go into pit there while my teammate's already in it, he dies. So I have to make whatever decision he makes, and that's without callouts. That's something that you can do on your own. Obviously callouts help, but that was without callouts. God, I switched off my screen on accident. So that was a really bad fight for me. I ended up getting a free kill, and then instead of waiting for my team to come help me take control of pit, I ended up dying really fast. That was silly. Lose another fight. So yeah, like I said, I didn't really like my gameplay going into this game, but I do like the plays that I make later, and that's what I really want to stress. Um, both what I'm doing here is talking about the basics and helping the normal viewer, the normal like let's say platinum, diamond, like low onyx ranked. Then I also want to talk about like really high level strategy, and by like high level strategy I mean you have to make this decision instantly, and you have to like understand when to make it. So again, just getting into bad fights, losing them. Do get a kill though. So the barrels are really important in this game. There's barrels on Eden, this map, a couple of others. I don't really know. Just they catch people off guard so often. Just throw a grenade at them. They'll be like, oh, this grenade's gonna do like a minuscule amount of damage, and then the barrel explodes and kills them. So again, teammates in pit. What do I need to do? I need to get in pit as soon as possible. Miss my Spartan charge. And then just fucking die. But doing this allows my team to secure red base, so now we actually have the 2 bases to 1 advantage. And see, now they have to make the decision with 2 bases to 1 and they have pit. They need to go to a base while controlling pit, and that's pretty difficult. So if we win any one-on-ones, we're going to end up taking over pit. Arcanum gets 1, Arcanum might get 2. Yeah, Arcanum gets 2. That's 3 dead. So now they're taking over blue, and instead of the last guy like stalling us in pit, we're able to get pit and still control, yeah, red base. So it's really important to get, to get the side base control as well. You don't have to just go for pit. That's what I'll be talking about later in this film. Woo, good shots. So they're in pit, need to just try and contest it while my teammate comes and helps. That's exactly what happens. It doesn't really matter if I die. See, that's an 0 for 1 play on paper, but a pretty good play overall on my end. So they're in pit. I spawn turbine, or not turbine, security. This is the play I've been practicing for like 2 weeks now, is getting them out of pit with the use of ground pound. I'm the #1 pro ground pound player in the game, and here's why. Woo! So killing him and then fighting the next guy. That's a free kill on one guy, and then a 1v1 with the next guy, and then I end up resetting pit with it. So here's something that I don't really know, is getting out of the base early. I I still haven't done this enough to know if you should do it a lot, do it a little bit, or only do it when necessary, etc., etc. Here I just want to get in a good position for when they get into pit. I feel like Sandy's got it by himself. But later in this game, you'll notice that in the same position, Arcanum and I are taking over blue base, and he gets out early, and that causes us to lose blue base control. So it's just something that I get out for OS. So here I make a play. We have 2 bases, and we just got like control of the map by killing these people. And I have OS, so I say, guys, I'm gonna go to red base with this OS. You guys just make sure that they don't take over the rest of the bases, and I'll see what I can do with this base. Risk and reward type of play. I get pushed out of the base, so it resets red base. And then I end up fighting, but I win the fight. Then my teammate comes and helps me secure the base, and now we have total control because of that play with the OS that I made. It's not a like an effective 100% of the time. This is what you do. You have 2 bases, you have OS, you go to this base. No, it's definitely dependent on the situation. And I feel like because we had control and because I had OS, that was the time to go. So now we're getting 2 points a second, or 2 points every like what 3 seconds or something. And my team's fighting for control of blue. They actually get the reset on it, double kill, and 4 dead. So my play, I mean, now we could have taken it over, but instead of getting 4 points, we now get like 8 or 10 or whatever. So I really like the play that I made there. But again, it shouldn't be made every time. It really needs to be made at your discretion. So one dead, practicing my ground pounds as we have complete control of this game. Alright, so here in this position, I was like, guys, you guys worry about pit and blue. I'm gonna kill anyone that goes into red. I said that 2 seconds ago, and that's why Six God's not even in our chat, but he left. So I could not believe when you see that stronghold sign at the right side of the screen, and how it keeps going up. Look at this. I'm like looking for spawners. I'm like, oh, there's a guy in there. It takes like 10 seconds for a stronghold to be taken, and it's 75% done. And that's when I notice, and I'm like, oh god, let's get in there and contest it with them, and then I just end up dying. So they end up taking pit because my team has to go back to red to secure the base that I messed up. I feel like that was a little bit of a mistake, taking over red. I mean, I didn't watch it. I don't want to go back and watch it, but let's go back. Letting them get pit and trading for red is a pretty bad trade. As you can see, they get control of red here and pit because of that. So going for the OS, slide right in. I think the slide is a really underused mechanic in this game, and I get absolutely melted. That's what I'll say. I'm sure there's a stronger word that I could have used there, but I like melted. So here we have what, blue base. We're going outside. I think that going outside here is a really good play because you can kind of collapse from different positions and you can stop them from like hiding front red while you go for pit. So we both go red bin. We get a free kill. So normally I would have went into red, but because we get a free kill, I'm gonna end up fighting the first guy I see. So I get a free kill as well, but then I end up dying. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't like the plays that I made this game. Just talking about basic mechanics and basic strategies here. Some guys taking over blue. I end up winning a 1v1. So 2 more going to blue. And I can't stop them from taking out. This is a really fun play that I make in all the Halos. Let's back this up a little bit. Oh shit, too far. This is a really fun play that I make in all the Halos. I know one guy's chasing me and one guy's taking over the base. So you see that guy's running at me. And I jump over his head and try to kill the second guy. I just like really mess it up. Just a fun play by me. Alright, so here 96 to 72. We keep trying to go for pit. I'm speeding it up a little bit because it's just like a pointless death, just going for pit. And here I make the conscious decision. Hey, team, let's go outside of blue. Like 2 of us go outside of blue. 2 of us just don't die. Like wait a little bit. Just hold off on your push. So Jake and I go outside of blue. We actually end up getting a double pick off here. And I go, alright, let's take over blue, Jake. Let's go. We only need 4 seconds. So he comes into blue with me. And then he leaves. He goes blue window. And at this point I did say, hey, go pit. Like whoever else is alive, go pit. And Jake ends up leaving me. And I say, no, Jake, that's bad. Because I know that people are... I don't know why it's not showing up. But I know that people are going to be coming soon. Because they can't really afford to lose any strongholds at all. So yeah, Jake leaves me. The 2 spawners spawn outside, and they rush me. And they get the reset. So again, Jake and I do the same thing, I think. Or Sandy and I. Or is it just me? Alright, well we just won a battle in the middle for no apparent reason. Like we get a pick off I guess and then just like 2v1 the rest of the guys. And we end up getting them like 3-4 dead. And so I'm taking over blue, team's taking over pit. Making sure they don't rush me. Now that we have blue base, if they reset pit, they have a little bit of time to take over the rest of the base. So I end up helping him pit. And we end up getting the capture, and that's the game. So overall, I feel like this gameplay is a really bad example of what Empire Strongholds is about. But I feel like I talked about it alright. So yeah. I don't know. It's mostly just abusing the strongholds. Like if they push into it, you have to realize that they're spawning. Where are they gonna go when they spawn? To one of to pit or to your second base, so, or do you have all 3 and you just kind of like bait the strongholds that way? I don't know. Anyway, I feel like this was a really bad gameplay, but I enjoyed talking about it. It was a close game, which is why I picked it. I didn't really want to stomp to just kind of like show like, oh, hey, we beat these guys, and I'm just going to talk about the game. But more so a close game that shows like a bunch of the mistakes that I made and a bunch of the mistakes that normal people make. So with that, signing out. See you next time.